Welcome to the Soulful Insights podcast, where we empower women to reclaim their truth, heal emotional wounds, and break free from the chains of trauma through spiritual sovereignty. I'm your host, Tandy. Imagine a world where sound wasn't just something you heard, but something that healed you on a cellular level. What if the music you listened to could shift your emotions, reduce anxiety, and even repair your DNA? Sound is much more than just something that you hear. It's a powerful force that influences your energy, your emotions, and even your mental and physical health. In this episode of Soulful Insights, we'll explore the ancient power of sound as a healing tool, uncovering the science behind how vibrational frequencies impact the mind and body. We'll journey into the forgotten wisdom of old world church bells, which once resonated throughout entire communities, creating harmony and healing until they were removed. We'll also examine the difference between harmful and healing frequencies, including why 440 hertz became the global music standard and how 432 hertz was the original standard that resonated with the frequency of the earth and the body. We will also discover how the Solfeggio frequencies and binaural beats offer a path to emotional balance, mental clarity, deeper states of consciousness, and healing. Finally, we'll break down the healing properties of the sound frequencies and their connection to the chakras, giving you practical tools to integrate sound healing into your daily life. Tune in and discover how to realign your energy, calm your nervous system, and awaken your full vibrational potential. Sound healing is something that I use with my husband. I am a sound healing practitioner, and so this is something that we use in our daily lives a lot. I use sound when I am working on my podcast scripts and a lot of other projects. I am always using usually Solfeggio frequencies. When I am working, I rarely listen to any sort of popular music at all. And there are reasons behind that. And I want to share those reasons with you in this podcast because I think it is so important to understand the importance of sound. So first, we're going to talk about the science behind sound healing. And like I said earlier in the podcast, in the introduction, sound is more than just something that we hear. It's a vibrational force that impacts the body on a cellular level. And there are a lot of reels that you can see on Instagram where you can see how sound impacts water. You can see how it impacts sand on a vibration plate. So it is something that we know that deeply affects our body. From ancient cultures using sound for healing to modern scientific discoveries, we now understand that sound frequencies influence brainwaves, nervous system regulation, and energetic alignment. Everything in the universe vibrates at a certain frequency, including our bodies. In fact, your unique soul, your higher self, has its own unique vibrational signature. Each organ, cell, and energy center or chakra has its own natural frequency as well. When exposed to external frequencies, whether through music, chanting, or sound therapy, your body responds, aligning with these vibrations in what's known as entrainment. So entrainment is the process by which rhythmic patterns in one system synchronize with the rhythms of another. In the context of sound healing and brain function, entrainment occurs when external frequencies influence the brain, body, or energy field, causing them to align with that external rhythm. This is why it is so important, the music that you listen to. And we are going to talk more about that as we go on. So for example, brainwave entrainment usually happens when you're listening to binaural beats or some sort of rhythmic sound. And it can shift your brainwave activity, guiding the mind into states of relaxation, focus, deep meditation, or even deeper states of consciousness. Sound healing entrainment would be exposure to specific healing frequencies like singing bowls or the Solfeggio frequencies that can help balance energy centers or chakras and promote emotional well-being. These can also promote physical health as well, depending on how they are being used. You can also have heart rate and breath entrainment, where the body naturally adjusts to the rhythm of external sounds, such as slowing your heartbeat or breathing in response to calming music. This is something that is often used in breath work, where you will hear the sound of breath or hear certain sounds that you will match your breath to. Entrainment is a fundamental principle in sound therapy, meditation, and vibrational healing, demonstrating how frequencies can influence and harmonize the human body and the mind. So one of the most fascinating ways to see this in action is through what is called cymatics. This is the study of how sound shapes matter. So when different frequencies are played through substances like water or sand, like I mentioned earlier, they form beautiful geometric patterns that shift depending on the frequency. You may have seen this on Reels on Instagram or on YouTube or somewhere like that, where they put the sand on a vibration plate. And depending on the frequency that is played, the sand shifts into different sacred geometric patterns. This visual proof confirms that sound isn't just something we hear. It directly organizes and influences physical matter, including the cells in your body. And you will hear people talk about frequencies when they're talking about manifestation or the law of attraction, when they're talking about healing. You will hear this in many different aspects of healing, spirituality. But the reality is we have actually shown how frequencies affect physical matter, which is very powerful in driving home the message that these frequencies that you are allowing around you deeply affect you. You may have seen reels, like I said, that shift into these beautiful patterns. If you have not seen this, I would highly recommend searching for it on YouTube or a search engine so that you can see how powerfully and beautifully sound frequencies affect matter. They can also affect matter in negative ways, though. And that is very important to understand. We will be discussing that a little bit later, but they can cause dysregulation. They can enhance feelings of anger, anxiety, agitation, which can actually be dangerous. So we're going to discuss that in a little bit, because sound is not all airy-fairy. It can be powerful in negative ways as well. Some examples of how sound affects the body. So healing with lower frequencies, usually these would be maybe 174 hertz, something like that. These tones, these lower frequencies, reduce pain, lower blood pressure, and promote relaxation. They're very grounding. But then we have disruptive noise versus harmonious sound. So you can have harsh, chaotic noise like city traffic, sirens. That can be very disruptive. But you can also have harsh music such as rap, hard rock, heavy metal, even a lot of pop music. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but I'm going to tell it to you like it is, whether you like it or not. Because I think people need to understand how their depression, anxiety, agitation levels, their dysregulation can be being affected by what you're listening to. These increase negative emotions, elevate stress levels, and can create dysregulation in the nervous system and disharmony in your entire body. It can also enhance any physical ailments that you might have as well. While harmonically tuned sounds like Solfeggio frequencies promote healing and inner peace. And this is why these frequencies are used during a sound bath. We're not going to be using 440 hertz in a sound bath. If someone is, they really should not be doing sound baths, in all honesty. And we can also discuss chakra alignment because each energy center in the body responds to specific frequencies, helping to release blockages and restore balance. So when we look at chakra alignment, you have chi energy or prana, however you want to look at that, flowing through the body, and energy centers that all need to be in alignment and balanced. And a lot of times we have blockages. These can be caused by emotions and other things. And when we use a frequency that is associated with that energy center, it can very powerfully balance and release blockages. So as you learn more about chakras, you'll find that when you're feeling certain feelings or feeling a certain way, it's probably because there's a blockage or an imbalance in one of your energy centers. So for example, if you're feeling ungrounded and insecure, you know that you need to focus on the root chakra. You can use sound frequencies in the lower frequencies to enhance the root chakra. You can use meditation with those sound frequencies and balance that chakra. You may find some of these root chakra balancing meditations on YouTube. Just make sure that you are using well done meditations, because there are definitely people that are just throwing out electronic random stuff all the time, and you want to make sure that it's something that is truly healing, probably by someone who has studied as a sound healing practitioner or something like that. Then I want to discuss the impact of sound on the brain. And I want to begin this discussion on the impact of sound on the brain by talking about binaural beats, which are frequencies designed to mimic the specific frequency of certain brainwaves in various states of consciousness. And I want to state that if you're new to sound healing and sound frequencies, pure binaural beats can be a bit too powerful for those who are new to meditation or sound healing. So it's best to start with Solfeggio frequencies, and we'll talk about what those are in a minute, or other like sounds or guided meditations, something like that, to begin your meditation journey. And I would usually recommend starting with about 15 minutes or however long you feel like you can do a good meditation, and then slowly increasing. And I would recommend that before moving into pure binaural beats. You can use binaural beats that have a Solfeggio frequency used in combination to kind of soften the sound and make it easier to listen to. And that is also appropriate. I do that sometimes just because I find I can get into a deeper state of consciousness sometimes when there's a Solfeggio frequency, a low Solfeggio frequency over the top of the binaural beat. Depending on the state of consciousness you're trying to get into, that would determine which Solfeggio frequency you would try to use. So, and that is more advanced kind of use of frequencies, so we're not going to get too much into that here, but just realize that you can do that if you do want to try out binaural beats, because I will say just listening to the pure binaural beats can be, it can even feel a little bit aggravating sometimes. You're just not used to it. So sound, like I said, doesn't just influence the body. It can also directly affect your brain waves, shifting mental states between alertness to relaxation to deeper states of consciousness, deep healing. Different frequencies trigger different neurological responses and different states of consciousness. Binaural beats can be used for ADHD to quiet the mind. There have been studies done on that, and it can be quite effective. I have actually found it to be very, very effective. It's like a warm blanket around your brain. It can be very beautiful if you find the frequency that works for you. So just be aware of that when you are starting to work with sound frequencies. They can quiet the mind, but they can also be used by those who practice lucid dreaming, astral travel, meditation, out-of-body experiences, and other powerful practices involving deep states of consciousness. And if you don't know what those things are, that's totally fine. but a lot of people use them for those experiences as well. They can also be used during legal psychedelic journeyings, which can be really powerful as well. And it just kind of depends on your facilitator and how they work with those frequencies. The binaural beat frequencies are beta waves, which are 14 to 30 hertz. And in this frequency, this is active thinking, focus, and problem solving. So, for example, if I'm working on a podcast script or I'm working on certain things at my desk, listening to beta waves would be a good idea because it can help me focus. You can also move into alpha waves, which are between 8 and 14 hertz. This is relaxation, meditation, and stress relief. So if you are struggling with anxiety, the alpha waves would be a really good idea. And they are also used for lighter meditations. So if you're just new and you're just getting into meditation, I would stay in the alpha wave state between 18 and 14 hertz would be a really good place to start, just to calm your mind and get into a light meditative state. And then we have theta waves. Theta waves are between 4 and 8 hertz. This is a deeper meditation, a deeper state of consciousness in theta waves. This is also where people will move into for lucid dreaming or astral travel, out-of-body experiences, something like that. This is where you'll have more intuition, creativity, spiritual communication, that type of a thing, depending on how experienced you are. And then delta waves is 0.5 to 4 hertz, and this is deep sleep, subconscious healing, and regeneration. So delta waves is generally something that people would use while they are sleeping. Sometimes there are subliminal messages with the delta waves, depending on what you're using, but these can be really powerful to use while you're resting and on a low level so that it's not keeping you awake. Certain frequencies, like the binaural beats, help guide the brain into these different states of consciousness, making them powerful tools for meditation, emotional healing, and stress reduction. So I think it's really important to understand that frequencies below 20 hertz, called infrasound, are below our hearing capacity and are typically felt rather than heard. So they affect the body on a vibrational level rather than being perceived as sound. These extremely low frequencies can influence brain activity, emotions, and even physical sensations, making them a key component in sound healing, meditation, and altered states of consciousness. But binaural beats, so when I'm talking about frequencies below 20 hertz, that's not binaural beats. That's just the pure frequency itself. You would not be able to hear that. Binaural beats are an auditory phenomenon where two slightly different frequencies are played in each ear, leading the brain to perceive a third tone. So that third tone would be the difference between the two frequencies. This method has garnered interest for its potential to modulate brain activity and alleviate ADHD symptoms. Research indicates that individuals with ADHD often exhibit atypical brainwave patterns, particularly in the prefrontal cortex, which is vital for attention and executive function. By employing binaural beats to target specific frequency ranges, it's possible to influence brainwave activity and potentially reduce ADHD symptoms. So this is what I was talking about. The binaural beats can really have a profound effect on your experience of anxiety or ADHD. So studies have explored these effects of different binaural beat frequencies on ADHD. There was a study in 2013 in the Journal of Neurotherapy found that children with ADHD who listened to beta frequency binaural beats, so this is the 13 to 30 hertz range, they demonstrated improvements in attention and reduced impulsivity. And there was another study published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine in 2019 where they were looking at adults with ADHD who listened to the alpha frequency binaural beats, which is the 8 to 13 range, and reported enhanced focus and decreased distractibility during cognitive tasks. So it's very important to choose the appropriate frequency using high quality headphones or earbuds and integrate listening sessions into your daily routines consistently. So I thought it was just really important to highlight how profound this can be for a lot of people. This can also be very effective for people who have anxiety and other emotional issues. So it is something to explore. As we dive deeper into the world of sound healing, I want to explore specific frequencies like 432 hertz, the Solfeggio frequencies, and other sound frequencies that can also shift mental, emotional, and energetic states, helping us to tap into a profound sense of balance, clarity, healing, meditation, all of those good things. But as we get into this, I want to talk about the healing power of the church bells. For centuries, church bells were not just a call to prayer. They were powerful instruments of vibrational healing. And they were tuned to specific resonant frequencies. These bells filled towns and villages with vibrations that cleared negative energy, promoted healing, and fostered a sense of balance and harmony. Many ancient bells, particularly those cast before the 20th century, were tuned to nothing other than 432 hertz, a frequency known for its natural resonance with the human body and the Earth's electromagnetic field. They are also in harmony with the vibrations found in nature. The constant ringing of these bells created a community-wide frequency entrainment, where the vibrations subtly influenced brainwaves, reduced stress, and even supported emotional healing. Studies on sound healing and vibrational therapy suggest that prolonged exposure to harmonic frequencies can regulate the nervous system and synchronize brain activity. In many ways, the daily chimes of church bells acted as a form of passive sound healing for entire communities. And now we're going to go into the dark side. The weaponization of bells and their removal. Not everyone saw bells as tools for healing. And actually, I think it's a little different than that. I think they recognize these bells as tools for healing, and that's the reason that they removed them. During World War II, particularly under Nazi Germany, the power of bells was weaponized. The Nazis melted down thousands of European church bells to create artillery, removing their healing presence from society. Some speculate that this was more than just a resource grab. It was an intentional dismantling of a powerful ancient technology that had harmonized communities for centuries. Beyond World War II, an eerie trend emerged. Church bells across many nations were systematically removed, silenced, or retuned. While the official reasons vary, such as structural concerns, urban noise regulation, or modernization efforts, many believe that the true motivation ran much deeper. Were the bells removed to suppress their healing effects? Some theories suggest that the removal or detuning of church bells was an intentional effort to suppress natural healing practices that could foster mental clarity, emotional stability, and communal harmony. Possible reasons for this: a shift to controlled frequencies. As music worldwide was standardized to 440 hertz, this is a frequency believed to create stress and agitation and disharmony in the body. The bells that resonated at healing frequencies like 432 hertz were quietly retuned or removed in an effort to conceal their powerful healing properties. Severing the connection to ancient healing knowledge, bells were linked to sacred geometry, vibration, and spiritual attunement. Their removal could be part of a larger agenda to shift people away from natural resonance and into artificial states of imbalance, anxiousness, and dis-ease. Think about how powerful that could be by shifting all of the music that everyone listens to on the entire earth. That's a big deal. Modern science is only now beginning to acknowledge the power of sound for healing, but ancient cultures long understood this. The removal of bells could have been an early attempt to suppress vibrational medicine. While there may never be definitive proof of an effort to silence healing frequencies, the fact remains church bells, once a cornerstone of spiritual and vibrational well-being, have largely disappeared from modern society. Understanding the healing potential of sound and resonance allows you to reclaim these ancient tools in new ways. We have tuning forks. This is something that I use with my husband a lot. I would also like to just make a note here that using tuning forks with healing crystals is extremely powerful. And it is also a way that you can activate your healing crystals in a far better and higher way by using tuning forks. And if you want to know more about that, let me know. I can definitely talk about that. We also have singing bowls and meditation frequencies in 432 hertz, along with the Solfeggio frequencies that can restore energetic balance and alignment, much like the bells of old once did. So we can reclaim this healing right that we have, even though they tried to erase it from society. Perhaps the silence of the bells is a reminder that it's up to us to bring back vibrational healing into our daily lives through conscious sound choices, mindful resonance, and the intentional use of frequencies that uplift and restore our energy instead of destroy it. So let's talk a little bit about the 440 hertz and the 432 hertz controversy, the frequency war and its impact on spiritual alignment. For centuries, music and sound were used as tools for healing, spiritual attunement, inner harmony. We've talked a lot about this. They were carefully tuned to align with the natural vibrations of the earth and the human body. All music was tuned to 432 hertz. But in 1939, this is very interesting because if you think about World War II, the timing of World War II and the timing of the switch from 432 hertz to 440 hertz in music is very interesting. But it was in 1939 an artificial disruption was introduced when music worldwide was standardized to 440 hertz instead of 432, as it had always been. 440 hertz is a frequency completely out of sync with the natural resonance of life itself. This shift, which many believe was intentional, has had profound effects on human consciousness, emotions, and spiritual well-being. So what is 440 hertz and why is it unhealthy? This decision to adopt 440 hertz as the standard tuning frequency was not based on harmony, health, spiritual alignment, or anything like that. It was imposed upon us. It was originally promoted by the Nazis and later adopted by the International Organization for Standardization. This unnatural tuning has been linked to increased stress, anxiety, and disharmony in the body. Very interesting, as we have seen in society dramatic increases in stress, anxiety, and all kinds of emotional distress. And I will say it isn't just the frequency, the language that is used, the things that we have allowed into our lives energetically are harming us. And we allow it because it's normal. We accept it as normal. We watch extreme, gruesome violence on television, graphic, voyeuristic sexual behavior on television. The music is not just in disharmony with the natural hertz frequency of the body, but the lyrics are graphic in nature or violent in nature as well. This influences the vibrational state of our cells, our emotions, and our connection to the divine. Numerous researchers, including Dr. Joseph Puello, have explored how frequency manipulation can alter human consciousness and suppress spiritual awareness. That is huge. Suppressing your spiritual awareness. Many believe that the shift to 440 hertz was intentional to keep humanity in a state of dissonance, emotional instability, and spiritual disconnection. 440 hertz can disrupt the human energy field. Unlike 432, which aligns with the Schumann resonance, which is the Earth's electromagnetic field, which is 7.83 hertz. 440 hertz is a disruptive mechanical frequency that causes the body's energy to fall out of sync with the natural world. It triggers stress and anxiety. Studies have shown that music tuned to 440 hertz increases the stress hormone production and creates a sense of tension. It interferes with spiritual attunement. Many sound healers and spiritual practitioners report that 440 hertz blocks intuitive abilities, lowers vibrational frequency, and disrupts sleep, and also disrupts deep meditative states. It amplifies negative emotions. Unlike 432 hertz, which induces a sense of peace and heart-centered awareness, 440 hertz creates an unnatural energetic environment often linked to agitation, frustration, and even aggression. The shift to 440 hertz was not an accident. It was a deliberate decision to remove the natural healing power of sound and replace it with a frequency that keeps humanity out of alignment with higher consciousness. If you notice that humanity seems to be operating half asleep, easily manipulated, and completely disconnected from the divine, this is a reason why. We fill our minds with music that contains violent, hypersexualized lyrics in a frequency that disrupts our connection to the divine and increases anxiety. Humanity is seeking a sense of safety from this inner turmoil and anxiety they feel. And the powers that be are more than happy to swoop in and offer to take away more of your freedoms in the name of, quote, safety. And humanity is more than ready to hand it over. We always make decisions based on how we think something is going to make us feel, constantly trying to escape painful emotions. And the powers that be are more than happy to create a condition of anxiety and stress and then offer us solutions that further enslave us, either through medications or taking freedoms away to give you a false sense of safety. 440 hertz is only the tip of the iceberg, but it is one piece in the puzzle of control that we can easily replace with more harmonizing and healing sounds. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I rarely listen to any genre of popular music anymore. Doesn't matter. Country, pop music, I don't listen to Christian music, any of that. When I sit at my desk, I'm always listening to healing music of various frequencies, sometimes nature sounds, Native American flutes, Tibetan singing bowls. The calm that it brings to the entire house is amazing. It has completely shifted me. It has completely shifted our home. So, why is 432 hertz considered a healing frequency? In contrast to the mechanical imposed 440 hertz, 432 is the frequency of harmony, balance, and divine connection. It's found throughout nature, in ancient spiritual traditions, and even within our own physiology. This frequency naturally aligns with the universe, bringing the mind, body, and soul into a state of peace. So we talked about the Schumann resonance and 432. The Schumann resonance is the frequency of life. The earth itself vibrates at approximately 4.83 hertz. This is known as the Schumann resonance. When music is tuned to 432 hertz, it creates a perfect harmonic relationship with this fundamental frequency, reinforcing energetic balance, relaxation, and a connection to nature. Instruments in ancient cultures, from the Tibetan singing bowls to the Egyptian harps, Pythagorean tuning systems, were all tuned to frequencies in alignment with 432 hertz. Gregorian chants which have been scientifically shown to alter brainwaves, reduce stress, and activate higher states of consciousness, were also in tune with this frequency. This frequency enhances meditation and spiritual awareness. It slows down the brain activity, making it easier to enter deep meditative states and connect with higher consciousness. It also promotes mind-heart coherence. Research suggests that listening to 432 hertz music naturally lowers your heart rate and blood pressure, creating a profound sense of peace and emotional balance. It also physically harmonizes the body. So 432 hertz allows the sound to resonate with water molecules in the body, creating a sense of flow, ease, and energetic harmony. So you can experience the dramatic difference between these two frequencies yourself. Listen to a piece of music in 440 hertz. Close your eyes and just observe how it makes you feel. Then listen to a piece of music in 432 hertz. Most people will instantly notice that the 432 feels warmer, more expansive, and relaxing, while 440 often creates tension and unease. Beyond 432 hertz, though, there exists an entire ancient scale of frequencies known as the Solfeggio scale. These are tones that were once used for spiritual activation, DNA repair, and vibrational healing. They were rediscovered by Dr. Joseph Palaio. This 6-tone system was used in Gregorian chants, ancient sound healing ceremonies, and sacred rituals to awaken higher consciousness and restore inner balance. So, let's talk about the Solfeggio frequencies and also the healing properties that they have. So I have added some frequencies to the 6-tone system. We've gone up a little bit higher. I believe the 6-tone system started at 396, but we're going to start at 174 hertz. This is the foundation frequency. So this would also be one in alignment with your root chakra. Now, generally in the 6-tone scale, you would use 396 for the root chakra, which also works perfectly fine. But the 174 hertz is the foundation. It reduces pain and inflammation. It can be a natural anesthetic. Now, I want to be clear here about it being a natural anesthetic. We're talking about actually using the 174 hertz from either a tuning fork or a sound bowl or something like that on your body. It is not going to work as a natural anesthetic if you're just listening to 174 hertz over YouTube or earbuds or something like that. It isn't going to do the same thing. It can help emotionally and mentally, but it isn't, and probably calm the nervous system, but it's not going to do the physical aspects of healing when you're just listening to it. So the reduction in pain and inflammation, it heals trauma stored in the body, so it helps move those emotions out. So this is really, really powerful for healing any stored trauma and moving it to be processed or released. It's deeply grounding, so it helps with anxiety, it calms the nervous system, and it supports organ function. And then we have 285 hertz. This is a healing frequency. It's very good for physical healing, tissue regeneration, cellular repair. It is also grounding, strengthening to the immune system. And this one can cleanse your aura, your energetic field, cleanse out negative energies. So that's 285. It can also be associated with the root chakra in some ways, but it's a little bit less associated with that one. And then we move into 396 hertz. This one liberates fear and guilt. It is associated with the root chakra. It's deeply connected to the root chakra. It provides a powerful release of fear, guilt, subconscious emotional blockages that are holding you back from stepping into your true power. It dissolves limiting beliefs, past traumas, inherited fears. So it does a little bit of that ancestral trauma. It creates a solid foundation, which is the root chakra, for inner security, courage, and confidence. This frequency is ideal for grounding and reclaiming your personal strength and any overcoming of deeply rooted emotional burdens. So that's a really good frequency for a lot of emotional healing work. And these are the frequencies. So when you see a sound bath that is geared towards liberating fear, or you see a sound bath, geared towards releasing trauma, different frequencies are going to have different effects on your body. And it's very interesting. Different traumas and different emotions are going to be released with these different frequencies as well. So different people may have different experiences with these different frequencies, but this is what we're looking at in some of the sound baths and some of the sound healing, where they are saying it's geared towards a certain thing. It depends on the instruments that they're using or the frequencies. So then we move into 417 hertz. This is releasing trauma and past patterns. This is associated with the sacral chakra, 417. It is a frequency of transformation and renewal. So the sacral chakra is really associated with creativity, with desire. It still does help dismantle negative emotional patterns, clear past traumas. A lot of these lower frequencies do this in different ways. It helps reset the subconscious mind, which is really important. This would be a really good frequency to use during a hypnotherapy session as well. It directly resonates with the sacral chakra, which encourages that emotional flow, that creativity, and the sense of freedom from past conditioning. So I would also use this with people coming from high demand religions, things like that. One can break free from the destructive cycles, release shame, and embrace a fresh start with renewed clarity and purpose. So I really like that one. Then we move into 528. This is something I listen to very frequently. 528 is something that I use when I do a Himalayan salt bath in the evening. I will turn on a Himalayan salt lamp, put Himalayan salt in the bath, and this is like an energetic cleansing that I will do. Oftentimes I will listen to 528 hertz. This one is involved with DNA repair and heart healing. It's associated with your solar plexus. It's often referred to as the miracle frequency or the love frequency. It has been scientifically linked to DNA repair, cell regeneration, and deep emotional healing. So you will notice a lot of these frequencies have similar things. They are very powerful. They have kind of their own unique way. So if you're looking for DNA repair or cellular regeneration, you're looking at 174, 528. You're going to look at different frequencies, and I would start with one and just move through them all because they all have their own effect on each of these things. It also works on deep emotional healing. And as a solar plexus frequency, it helps boost your self-esteem and dissolve fear-based resistance to love and connection. So that's a really good one. It's known for its ability to enhance the mind-heart coherence and supports profound emotional breakthroughs, forgiveness, and unconditional self-love. So I love the 528 frequency. I use that one a lot. Then we move into 639. So you will notice we have 369 hertz, and now we have 639 hertz. Now, if you're not familiar with the numbers, 3, 6, 9, very, very powerful numbers. We can also discuss that as well. But it's very interesting that we have these frequencies. They're both very powerful. The 639 hertz harmonizes relationships and emotional balance. This is associated with your heart chakra. So it is a powerful tool for restoring emotional harmony, deepening emotional connections, and healing relationship wounds, even if they're past relationship wounds. It helps enhance empathy, compassion, and communication while clearing past emotional baggage that may be blocking love, specifically. Whether used for self-healing or improving relationships, 639 hertz aligns you with the energy of unity and understanding, making it a frequency for forgiveness and authentic connection. So this would be like your Valentine's Day frequency, for example. And then we move into 741. Again, you'll notice these numbers, 174. Now we're on 741. There are patterns here, and there's a reason for that. 741 hertz, detoxifying the body and mind. This goes along with the throat chakra. It's known as the detox frequency. 741 hertz works on both a physical and energetic level, aiding in clearing toxins, infections, and electromagnetic disturbances. So this is really important energy to use if you're on your phone a lot, you have your phone around, if you have a lot of health issues, infections, that type of a thing. It's also really good at purging negative thought patterns. It activates the throat chakra, encouraging authentic self-expression, truth, and the release of suppressed emotions. This frequency is especially beneficial for those looking to cleanse their energy field, enhance mental clarity, and remove emotional blockages. Notice there's a lot of removing of emotional blockages with these. They're very powerful. I have used all of these, but not like consistently the same one over a period of time. That's definitely kind of a self-test that I would like to do just to see how I feel with these different frequencies. They're always on in the background in my office, but I'm not as aware of how they're affecting me because I'm busy doing other things. So then we move into 852 hertz. These, as we get higher, you notice they're moving up the body. This moves with Kundalini energy as well. So we're moving into awakening intuition and higher consciousness. This is associated with the third eye chakra. It enhances your intuition, your psychic awareness, and spiritual insight. So if that's something that you are working on, 852 hertz is what you are looking for. It helps clear mental fog, subconscious fears, limiting perceptions, allowing for higher vibrational thinking and stronger connection to divine wisdom. This is a big one. So those who use 852 hertz often experience heightened intuition, deeper meditation experiences, and an enhanced ability to trust their inner knowing. So this is a really big one if that's what you're looking for. Some of you may not quite be ready for that. I would really say if you're trying to awaken your intuition and your higher consciousness, you really need to have all of your lower chakras really balanced and really strong. So we need to clear the stored trauma, the emotions, the limiting beliefs, a lot of that stuff before we start moving into the third eye. So this is not something that I would start with. A lot of times when we start awakening this higher consciousness and we have a lot of stored trauma and stuff, it can be a real painful experience. Talk to some people who've had Kundalini awakenings and notice that they have to process all of that, and it processes much more rapidly. So it's better to start with the lower frequencies and work your way up. The next one we have is 963. Again, 369, 693, 963. You're going to notice a lot of these numbers repeating. And there is, as I said, a reason for that. I'm not going to go into that today, though. So we're looking at activation of the pineal gland here and divine connection. So this is associated with your crown chakra. It's also known as the frequency of the gods. It's associated with the spiritual awakening, universal consciousness, and the activation of the pineal gland or the third eye. This frequency realigns you with your highest self, enhances meditation, and fosters a deep connection to the divine. This is known to stimulate mystical experiences, feelings of oneness, heightened states of alignment. So this would be a really good frequency to use if you were doing, say, legal psychedelic journeyings. I always enhance the word legal, please. But it would be very good for that. It is also very good if you have been doing meditation for a while, you have learned to get into deeper states of consciousness, and you've really processed a lot of that deeper emotional baggage, a lot of those things, and you feel ready for this. Again, like I said, using this frequency is really powerful. You really need to process a lot of that lower stuff before you get into these things. Now, just listening to this frequency, like if I turned this on now and was listening to it in the background, it isn't going to be a bad thing. It's not going to be harmful, but it's definitely, if you are using this during meditation or in states where you're really opened up, it can be very powerful. Then we move into the 1074. So again, notice these number patterns. 1074 hertz, expansion of awareness and spiritual growth. So again, we are raising, I would say that this one would be connected to your soul star chakra. So it's an even further expansion outside of yourself. It's an advanced healing frequency that facilitates mental expansion, heightened awareness, deep spiritual insight. It is an even more powerful frequency in dismantling limiting belief systems. And these are more the limiting systems of the physical realms. So you're going to unlock higher intelligence, increase your vibrational energy. Those using 1074 hertz often report a stronger ability to channel spiritual messages because they're able to break free from those kind of physical limitations. Then we're going to move into 1152 hertz. This is a healing frequency. This is DNA activation and deep cellular healing. So this is deeper than we were talking about cellular regeneration or DNA repair. That is not this, okay? This is far higher than that. And if you're not aware, if you're still in the understanding that we have two-strand DNA, this might go a little bit over your head. But it is known for its role in activating dormant DNA codes, repairing genetic imbalances, and it does accelerate cellular healing. But when I'm talking about activating dormant DNA, that's a whole can of worms that we're not going to go down right now. But if you know what I'm talking about, 1152 hertz is kind of the gateway for that. This frequency is believed to stimulate higher states of consciousness while physically rejuvenating the body, because it is connecting, this is connecting you on a deeper level to your soul. And so it helps align the spiritual and the physical self, supporting deep energetic purification and enhanced mental clarity. So this is a really powerful one. And again, a lot of these frequencies are going to be more powerful if they were being used in person rather than a frequency that you were just listening to on your phone. Then we move into 1174 hertz. If you think back to 174, now we're on a higher plane with 1174 hertz. This is an awakening of higher self and multi-dimensional awareness. So again, using this during meditation is really, really powerful. Not something for beginners. The 1174 frequency aids in activating the multidimensional self. So you have a lot of dimensions to yourself, and we will talk about this in a future podcast about the different dimensions of yourself. So this is going to enhance spiritual perception, deepening your connection to higher realms of consciousness. It's often associated with astral travel, lucid dreaming, out-of-body experiences. Again, if you don't know what those are, that's totally fine. Not every person is quite ready to begin working in those places. It gives you an expanded awareness beyond the physical world. Those who meditate with this frequency often experience heightened intuition, spiritual downloads. You may get light codes if you understand what that is, and increased ability to perceive energy beyond your five senses. So again, all of these are going beyond even just the lower aspects of your higher self. Then we go into 2172 hertz. And this is the divine blueprint activation. So you are, again, activating dormant DNA and interdimensional healing. It is an ultra high vibrational frequency that works on activating your divine blueprint within the human energy field. It is said to unlock interdimensional awareness, open higher chakras, and create a direct channel for cosmic universal consciousness. This frequency is used by advanced energy healers to align individuals with their soul's mission, remove ancestral trauma or karmic imprints. I don't really use the word karma. I think it is wildly misunderstood and misused. Oftentimes karma is seen as some sort of divine punishment. And it is a distortion, I think, on reality. Of course, I'm not indicating in any way that anyone who has done harmful things will just get away with it. That's not at all what I'm saying. But there's just some distortions within that idea. But there are ancestral traumas or imprints that this will also help remove, and it will accelerate your spiritual evolution if you are ready for that. I would not try to access things like that when you are not ready. These frequencies offer profound healing, each one attuned to a different aspect of physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being and advancement. Incorporating them into your meditation, into sound healing, or daily listening can create deep shifts in consciousness and your vibrational alignment. I highly recommend that you use frequencies in your daily life. Use them during your daily shower. You'll find the shower is already a place of divine communication for a lot of people because they're quiet in the shower, and it's time where they're not busy doing other things and they can actually receive that communication. But using a frequency during that time can also enhance your emotional and spiritual development. Many people believe these sacred frequencies were intentionally suppressed, just like 432 hertz, to keep humanity spiritually asleep and disconnected from our natural divine energy. So reclaiming the healing power of sound, that is where we need to stand today. And I am all about reclaiming your sovereignty and reclaiming all the healing power that is available to you. The shift from 432 hertz to 440 hertz was not a random decision. It was a deliberate suppression of healing vibrational energy. Now, as more people awaken to the true power of frequency and sound, more people are spiritually awakening. We have the ability to reclaim this ancient knowledge and use it to restore our own spiritual sovereignty. If you want to experience the difference, start by listening to meditation music tuned to 432 instead of listening to music at 440 hertz, popular music. Do it for a week. Give up on listening to the radio and start listening to music tuned to 432. Start experimenting with the Solfeggio frequencies for emotional healing. Avoiding the modern pop and industrial music designed to keep your nervous system in a state of discomfort and imbalance. Try it for a week. See what happens. Your vibration matters. The frequency you surround yourself with directly impacts your spiritual state, your emotional well-being, and your ability to connect with higher realms of consciousness. It's time to break free from the artificial discord of 440 hertz and return to the resonance of peace, healing, and divine alignment with 432 hertz. Sound frequencies are powerful tools for healing, focus, emotional balance, and spiritual awakening. Whether you need to calm anxiety, improve sleep, enhance your meditation, boost concentration, incorporating the right frequencies into your daily routine can create lasting shifts in your energy and well-being. Here are some simple ways, some tips and tricks to integrate healing vibrations into your life. Doing an energy alignment and meditation. Listen to Solfeggio frequencies during your meditation to align chakras, clear stagnant energy. You could use 432 or 528 hertz music for heart-centered meditation and emotional healing. Chanting or humming at a specific frequency, if that is something that is accessible to you, such as 741 hertz for detoxing or 963 for spiritual awakening. Working with singing bowls, tuning forks. Tuning forks are probably the most accessible. They're the least expensive. They're the most accessible. I would start with that. See how you enjoy the tuning forks, and then you can move into singing bowls or bells to cleanse your space and uplift your energy. I remember we were staying, when my husband and I did our vow renewal, we were staying in a beautiful hotel, and there was an old, very, very, very old Catholic church on the property. And they still had the church bells. And we woke up Sunday morning and the church bells were playing music, and it was absolutely transcendent. And that really helped me understand how powerful these church bells once were. So if you want to do sleep and deep relaxation, you could use the delta wave. So 0.5 to 4 hertz binaural beats and just use that when you're trying to sleep. Turn it to a stage where it's not disruptive of your sleep. You could also listen to the 174 or 285 before bed to relax your nervous system and ease muscle tension so you can sleep. You could also play 432 very softly while you sleep, and that just keeps your energy in alignment with the natural harmony of the earth. You can, if you need to reduce anxiety and stress, you could go with 528 or 639 frequencies, which can soothe emotional overwhelm and kind of create this sense of inner peace. You can use binaural beats in the theta range from 4 to 8 hertz to bring your brain back into a meditative, relaxed state. Also, chanting Om helps restore balance. I know a lot of people make fun of that. It's a joke, but in reality, it's not a joke. It is a healing tone. ADHD and focus enhancement, I would recommend beta wave binaural beats between 14 and 30 hertz to stimulate awareness, mental clarity. You can also play the 432 meditation music in the background. Isochronic tones in the alpha range will also be helpful, which is the 8 to 14 hertz, kind of improving concentration and preventing mental fatigue. If you're looking for manifestation and spiritual awakening, obviously going with the higher frequencies, 963, 852. You want to open the third eye, enhance your spiritual awareness. Or the 174 or 2172 are also the multidimensional awareness. Just be careful as you use the higher frequencies. Make sure you're ready for those, because if you're not, it's probably going to bring your emotional baggage to your awareness rather than just activating your higher consciousness. So just be aware of that. And as I said in the beginning, sound is not just something we hear. It's a tool for healing, transformation, and expanded consciousness. We are vibrational beings, and the frequencies we expose ourselves to affect our energy, our emotions, our physical health, our spiritual connection, in ways we're only beginning to understand. The ancient world understood this and used sound intentionally for healing, spiritual connection, and community harmony. But much of that knowledge was lost or covered up. Now it's time to reclaim it. Your frequency is your power. Choose the sounds that elevate, heal, and align with your highest self. And I want to end with a quote from Nikola Tesla. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The power of sound is real. It's not just something we hear. It's something we feel, absorb, and resonate with on a deep energetic level. Whether you're seeking healing, clarity, focus, spiritual awakening, the right frequencies can shift you and your soul into alignment with your highest potential. The world around us is filled with disharmonic noise, stress-inducing frequencies, and distractions. But you have the ability to choose what you allow into your energy field. By consciously working with healing sound frequencies, you can take back control of your vibration, emotions, and well-being. So again, I want to challenge you to incorporate these frequencies into your daily life. Maybe start with 432. Experiment with different frequencies. Notice how they affect you, whether for sleep or focus or meditation. Follow Soulful Insights for more wisdom on spiritual healing, empowerment, and energy alignment. Share this episode with someone who needs to hear it and spread the healing power of sound. Your vibration creates your reality. Choose frequencies that heal, align, and empower you. And I'll see you in the next episode of Soulful Insights.